Oh, a possible ban evader. What a fun game. Not a single flick landed, just straight up tunneling. That's false. I actually landed a few flicks. Like that one. What's going on, guys? It is I, Blue Dream 47, and in today's video, I'm going to be showing you how to flick with Pyramid Head. So, flicking with Pyramid Head is a very cool little thing that you can do, which adds a lot of flair to your gameplay and does have some tactical advantages and is just pretty cool to do, in all honesty. A lot of people have been asking me how to do this, and while there are a lot of other comprehensive guides on YouTube, I figured I would make my own just to show you guys how I do it and have something to reference for people who ask. So, let's begin. First of all, I'm going to explain how flicking works. So, when Pyramid Head is holding down his M2, Rites of Judgment, right before he sends the attack out, there is one individual frame that allows for motion. Now, whether this was an intended feature or not, this is a thing. And because of this singular frame, if there is an input of motion, and you can see my mouse there, this will allow you free movement of rotation right before his M2. And this isn't even locked by the reduced motion that you get when you are holding down M2. This individual frame gives you the free motion as if you weren't holding down M2, which is really cool. So, how to do this is really quite simple. It's not too complicated, but there are some things that I want to go over with you guys. So, how to flick. First of all, hold down M2, and you want to flick as you click. Not before, not after. You want to be having that motion at the same time as you click. So you can see there, so flick as you click, right? Flick as you click. As long as you have that input of motion, you will kind of change directions no matter which way you're swiping. It's really not too complicated, and once you kind of get it down, you're going to be flicking like a pro in no time. Now, there are some limitations and some things that will kind of mess you up, such as if you are on a higher FPS, you will get a lot of things like that look like this, and flicks that kind of go in a direction that you don't really want them to go, right? And I'm not exactly too sure why this is. I think it has something to do with the fact that the game is reading more frames. So even though you have one frame that does allow motion, I think the game just gets a little bit confused, and it'll change your position while sending the M2 the way that it was supposed to go. Now, you can still flick if you are on a higher FPS, but you will get those scuff flicks sometimes. So because of this, you're going to want to run on 60 FPS. Again, like you can totally run on 120 or 90. But you will notice sometimes, especially if you're going for like a big wide flick, that sometimes it'll just kind of scuff and kind of like that. So you will find a lot more consistency on 60 FPS. So that's a problem that I've seen a lot of people face, is they're wondering why their flicks aren't really flicking, right? So something you'll want to keep in mind as well is that having a higher DPI will help you to have more of a full range of rotation. So my mouse currently sits at about like 6K DPI, which does allow for a pretty much a solid 180. If I really try, I can actually go like over that just a little bit. So around there is good, but realistically you can have your DPI at like, 2K, 3K, whatever you want, even lower, and you can still flick, especially considering 180s aren't really too useful in chase. You know, you can do it, but it's more of a trick thing, right? So now that you know how to flick and your flicks are working, we're going to talk about how to kind of utilize them in chase. So let me find one of my little test subjects here. Now, the way that a flick is really useful is like that. You don't have to turn with that decreased rotation speed in order to hit them. So it really is useful, and it can kind of trick your opponent into thinking that they're safe when they're really not, right? Because you're facing this way, they're thinking, oh, he's going to have to rotate, and you can kind of flick on top of them in less than a second. There's really no time that they have to react to that, right? Another thing as well that you can kind of do is, because of this concept, you can trick them, right? Like you can kind of trick them and maybe flick on top of them, and they won't be able to react to that really as fast. So those are the kind of ways that are really useful, and ways that they kind of actually help a lot in chase. Now, while it is really tricky and it is kind of difficult to really go for this in chase, it's something that you can practice, and it's a fun little thing that can kind of enhance your gameplay just a little bit, and definitely add a ton of flair to your P-head gameplay. So I'll show you a bunch of clips of me landing flicks, and you can kind of see just how fun it can be and the ways in which you can use it in chase. Oh my god, the 180 flick. You sure about that? Play this. Play it. Don't you dare run away. Play this. Okay, here we go. Alright, here we go. But, I mean, that's a down, so. Great dog shit. Nice. Nice. Well, I hope you guys enjoyed this video, and if this has helped you in any way, please feel free to hit the like button, subscribe, and I hope to provide some more P-head content for you guys. But other than that, I hope you guys enjoyed, and I hope this helped in any way, and thank you so much.